Sorry, I just don't got tolerance for like certain shit. You know? Sorry if I'm rude. Sorry if I'm vulgar. Sorry if it's disrespectful, but it's cutthroat.
Okay.
Feel me? It's not like I'm just doing it to your people. I say fuck my own people. My mom wasn't there, right? Fuck that bitch. School crib.
Okay.
Okay.
That's rapper Blueface talking about his mother, Carlissa. And if you followed this rapper and his family for any amount of time, you've probably seen some version of this before. Because Blueface and his mother have spent years publicly fighting, reconciling, choosing sides, pulling other people into their conflicts, and then doing it all over again. And before we talk about Blueface's dysfunctional romantic relationships, or why I believe he's now turning that dysfunction into a business model, we have to start with the first family system he ever belonged to. Welcome to Selling Survival, the Blueface Economy. In this short series, I am exploring what happens when behaviors that may emerge from instability, scarcity, or survival stop merely being survived and become monetized, modeled, and sold as entertainment. Blueface, born Jonathan Porter, has described growing up between his mother's and father's household after their separation. He's described those environments differently. His mother was comparatively more lenient, while his father provided more structure and discipline. And that's important because our family of origin is our first site of socialization. It's where we first learn what love looks like, how conflict gets resolved, where boundaries exist, what loyalty requires, and what role we're expected to play within a family. That doesn't mean our childhood determines who we become, but it can establish what feels familiar. And once Blueface became famous, we got to watch some of those family dynamics play out publicly. In 2019, after Tatiana made Blueface a star, an explosive confrontation happened at his home involving his mother, Carlissa, his sister, Callie, and women Blueface identified as his girlfriends. His mother live streamed portions of the conflict. As a result, Blueface put his mother and sister out and then publicly accused his mother of chasing clout. Carlissa responded publicly too, making an interesting distinction between Jonathan, her son, and Mr. Blueface, the celebrity. And that incident established a pattern we're going to see repeatedly. Blueface, his mother, a romantic partner, conflict, and audience. By 2022, Krishan Rock had entered the family system, and another confrontation involving Carlissa, Callie, and Blueface's romantic partner became physical and public. But romantic relationships weren't the only source of conflict. After Blueface was arrested later that year, Carlissa publicly discussed refusing to pay his bail and argued that the family had financially invested in his career, famously saying, "We created Tatiana. Now we're dealing with more than a mother and son who don't get along." We're seeing questions of money, access, loyalty, obligation, and who is entitled to what once a member of a family becomes successful. And by January 2023, these issues were being discussed explicitly.
And how's the relationship with you and mom?
Like I said, I told you I deal with it, but I'm not dealing with it. So I just don't deal with it.
You won't have to deal with it.
No, my mom kind of acts like she wants to be my girlfriend or something. So it's like, not like incest
I
type.
understand.
Just more like territorial type, like, you know.
Like how? Explain it.
It's almost as she like forces me to like pick sides between her and the woman in my life, or
Yeah.
the woman I bring in the house, the woman I leave out the house, and it's like, this is my house.
Right. What's that like for you though? Like honestly, man, when stuff like starts popping off like that with the women in your life, whether it's mom or whether it's
I feel like my mom is older and she should be a woman and way more mature enough to not be getting into it with the female that I'm dealing with. I don't get into it with her husband.
Yeah.
Mind my business.
Yeah. So I know you care, but in the moment, if we don't know how to put the fire out, then it's easier to detach, right? And just say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna back off of this.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
I care enough to reflect on
Yeah.
it and admit where I could have made it better, but like I'm on to the next player. It's not like I'm gonna like dwell on it. So,
Spoken like a true quarterback.
What's important about that clip is that we don't have to diagnose Blueface from internet footage. Blueface himself has publicly identified problems within his relationship with his mother. But awareness and behavioral change are two different things. Only a few months later, Blueface publicly declared, I don't have a mom. And yet their relationship didn't end. Over the next several years, we see cycles of public conflict, estrangement, reconciliation, and shifting alliances. When Blueface was incarcerated, Carlissa became one of his most vocal public advocates. When he came home, they reunited. And then another romantic partner entered the conflict. After Carlissa and Nevaeh nearly fought at Blueface's welcome home event, Blueface made one of the strangest but most revealing comments about their relationship. He essentially said, I wouldn't sleep with my mother. She's not my type. I'm not diagnosing that statement, but listen to the boundary he's describing. Blueface himself is distinguishing between the role of mother and the role of romantic partner while responding to his mother's involvement with a woman he's dating. And that brings us to July 2026.
you domestically violently have altercations with your kids and multiple men.
What multiple
I would
men
rather be in an I would rather be in a tent
tell the chat what
than to
multiple
watch
men.
my mom and her
Tell
daughter
the chat
fight a man that
'cause
my
you-
mom is laying
'cause
down
you didn't
with.
help. That's why you.
Why would I?
It's okay. We didn't need your help.
I was 9 years old.
It don't fucking matter, nigga. If you was 3, you was supposed to help.
You want a 9-year-old to help you fight a grown man.
All I'm asking you,
and that's why I evaluate my dad the way I do. Because listen to you,
Jonathan,
I never had to fight nobody for my dad. I've never had to
dad shot a gun in the air.
compromise myself at 9 years old.
Are you okay?
To fight somebody for my dad.
Okay?
My dad is responsible and grown enough to not put his child in that predicament. What are you talking about?
Did you say he robbed you?
Look how she talking about a 9-year-old, chat. But did you help us? I'm 9 years old. Wow, what can I do? You want me to hit the nigga like this?
Yes.
Get off my mommy.
If somebody's trying to fight your mom, yes, that's what you're mad about.
Listen to the role Blueface is being asked to occupy here. He's not simply functioning as her son. He's being pulled into conflict between his mother and another adult. In family systems theory, there's a concept called triangulation. That's when tension between two people gets managed by pulling a third person into the conflict to take sides, communicate, intervene, protect, or regulate the relationship. And once you recognize that structure, look back across this timeline: mother and son, mother and girlfriend, son and girlfriend, mother, son, and sister, romantic partners against romantic partners. The alliances change, but Blueface repeatedly remains in the middle. And that brings us right back to August 2026.
My mom wasn't there, right? Fuck that bitch. Screw her. Okay.
Now, none of this means Blueface's mother caused the adult man we're watching today. Family systems can help explain where relational patterns may begin. They don't remove an adult's responsibility for what they continue to reproduce. It's not an excuse, it's an explanation. Because we can leave our childhood homes without necessarily leaving behind the relationship structures we learned inside them. When we move into Blueface's adult romantic relationships, something interesting happens. The women change, but does the system? And there's another piece of this story that some audiences have been pointing out for years. Because family isn't the only thing that socializes us, so do our neighborhoods, peers, gender expectations, and culture. And to understand Blueface's adult relationships, we're going to have to talk about pimp culture.